Good morning, YouTube and Facebook fans. This is Ken from Just For You swagbagsandgifts.com. Hoping everyone is well today. This is a beautiful day, even though it's kind of cloudy down here where we're at. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful day to be alive. It's a beautiful day to be able to go outside. It's a beautiful day to have our faculties and also to be relatively healthy. Today, we're going to continue our discussions in regards to bartering as a business tool and also a tool that can be used by consumers to help offset some of the costs during this pandemic or during this economic crisis. And when I'm saying that it's a business tool because using it can help you to increase your economic power without the use of cash. And I'm saying trading with your fellow business people for goods and services can help you to keep the cash within your coffers, as well as still be able to help them and others to be economically stable as well. Now, again, the prime example being is exchanging goods and services of equal value, of course. When we get that we start exchanging goods and services of greater than equal value, then there may be some tax ramifications that come into play as a result of that. You need to check with your tax accountant or tax or financial person to see whether you will incur any kind of taxes, sales taxes, or any other kind of taxes as a result of a transaction. I like that. It is my understanding that if the bartering or the transaction and the trade is of equal value, then there is no tax liability as such because you neither gain or lost anything in the process. You merely exchange one good or service for another good or service without the use of cash. And that's what we're talking about, is how can we eliminate the use of cash or maintain resources in such a way that we don't have to use cash all the time in order to get the things that we want or that we need for our business or for our livelihood. How can consumers use this? Well, now we have a lot of people and a number of people because of the crisis who cannot afford their rent and as such. And so they may have to look at an alternate way in order to be able to pay their rent. One of the ways may be to go to their landlord or to their real estate management company and say, hey, listen, is there any way that I can offset some of the cost of my rent if I do certain tasks or chores to help maintain this particular property that I live in? And of course, they have the option of saying no, we want it all in cash or whatsoever. And in that particular case, you have no alternative but to look elsewhere in order to try to make a trade or to barter in order to get the cash that you need in order to pay your rent. Still, if you have services or other goods that are of value, you can probably achieve this. You simply have to find the right trading partner in order to achieve that particular goal. It's not impossible to do because it's done all the time. We do it and we don't even know that we're doing it in a lot of circumstances that we trade goods and services. We got a neighbor who's a very good neighbor of ours here. He does things for many people within the neighborhood. And sometimes they're able to pay in cash, sometimes they're not. But they try to reciprocate in another way that is of equal value to the service that he gave them. And that could be anything, fixing a meal for him, okay? Helping him to mow his lawn, buying a gift for his birthday, or any other medium of exchange that could take place that emphasizes that, hey, this is a fair trade. I want to reciprocate, I don't have a lot of money. I can make something for you. I can do something for you that will be equal or greater in value to you for the service or the goods that you have provided to me. This can be done again at the level of a business as well. You could trade with your business partners, your next door a business uh, 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 friend who has a shop next door to yours or has a shop someplace else. They may have some services or goods that you need, and you may have something that they need. The question is, have you ever reached out to them and said, hey, listen, I've got XX, dude, can you use XXY? And if you can use this, what can you give me in exchange for XXY that's of equal value? We're going to try this out very soon in a community-based experiment where I am actually going to go into some of the shops within the neighborhood and talk to the business owners about the concept of bartering, okay? And see whether I can make a actual barter or trade with them right there on site so that you can see the dynamics of how this takes place. Bartering as a tool is basically negotiating. It's saying that I have something that you want, you have something that I want. Can we make a trade here? If we can make a trade, do we have to use money in order to make that trade all the time? No. We can use our goods, we can use our services in order to make that trade. If I can cut hair, if I'm a barber and can cut your hair, and you have something you could trade to me of equal value for cutting your hair or giving you a trim, then can we make a trade using the bartering method? Vice versa, if it's something that's a physical good, such as a plant or some tool of some kind, can I then take and use that tool or that plant or whatever that we've exchanged for and exchange that with someone else in order to get another item that I may need? And that's called a three-way bartering trade there. And it can go on and on and on, okay, until you get what you want. Okay, so now I want to trade and get myself a speedboat, let's say, which is a fairly expensive item to do. But can I trade my way up to that? Well, yes, I could trade my way up to that. Okay, I just have to increase the value of the trade that I'm going to make in order to be able to get that particular item that I want. Okay, so in this particular case, I may have a car that I'm no longer using. Okay, can I then take that car and trade that car for a speedboat or a boat, a fishing boat that I need or want? Okay, I can find that out. Okay, what I need to do is first of all advertise for the trade. So I go to Craigslist or I go to another medium, I go to Facebook, I go to any other social media and I say to them, listen, I've got a car, I want to trade. The value of my car as is in this present condition is $2,000. Okay, I want a fishing boat of equal value or greater value than the $2,000 that I have in this car. Okay, can I get someone to trade that with me? All right, if I can find someone to trade that with me, it's fine. Now I've got a trade that's taking place. We exchange. I've got what I want. They've got what they want. They needed a car. I needed the boat. Now, since I now have this particular boat, I may want something else. Okay, now I want to trade this boat for a camper. Okay, okay, so I go back on Craigslist or the social media and I play. So now I've got a boat. I've got a boat that's worth $2,000. I want a small camper so that I can travel the country with. Okay, and go up north or go out west to visit family and friends. Can I get someone to trade that with me? As long as it's of equal value, then there should not be any tax liability. Again, you have to talk with your tax accountant or tax professional in order to make sure that that statement that has just been made is true. If it is true, then you have no tax liability. If it's untrue, then you need to figure out the taxes on it and whether that taxes that you have to pay will depreciate the value of the trade that you had. Okay? So now that I found someone who wants to trade with me for the camper, I said, hey, okay, fine. Here's my boat. Give me your camper. We make a trade. Now, I take that camper at that particular time. Now, we've already made a three-way trade. I now want to trade up because I need first-class airplane tickets to fly to Europe for vacation. So I put on there that I have a camper. My camper is now worth $2,000 or more. I need first-class tickets in order to fly to Europe for vacation, first-class round-trip tickets to fly to Europe for vacation. Okay? How is there anyone out there that wants to trade with me? Okay, if I find someone that wants to trade with me, now I made a quadruple trade. And you see, it can go on and on and on as the value is equal to the value of something that someone else wants to trade. If I want to get it a little bit higher in terms of the trade, I now take the camper and I say I've got a camper plus I have something else of value that may equal up from $2,000 to $3,000. I say that I need an Airbnb place to stay while I'm in Europe. Can I not only trade now for my airplane tickets, can I find someone to trade me this for that Airbnb, okay, which may be worth $1,000. So now I have to figure out what do I have that's worth $1,000 that I could trade with someone for the Airbnb package. Once I found that person, now I'm making a double trade at the same time. This is what bartering is all about. It keeps the money in your pocket. It trades, provide trading mechanism that you get what you want, another person gets what they want, as long as it's of equal value. When it's of greater value, then you may have to compensate for that greater value that it is. And you have to figure that out along the way. What do I have to offset this additional cost that may be incurred as a result of the higher trade that is taking place? That's bartering 101 basically. You can do it multiple times, as many times as you want. And you can do it every single day if you want. There's no stopping to it, okay? In the process, what happens? You build your business. You build your business. Because the more links that you make with people, trading, the greater that your circle becomes of your trade partners, okay? The greater resources that you have when you need to reach out and find things or services that you need, you always know that you have something to trade, that you have something to offer. And this will help you survive in your business during this pandemic and during this crisis. That again is Barter 101. Next week, I'll see you again next week, 11 o'clock a.m. Hope that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. We really appreciate you as an audience and helping us not only to provide you with information, but also in the process, we're learning as well. In a couple of weeks, I hope to get on a great friend of mine, attorney Mark Connolly from Brian McManus and Associates Law Firm that specializes in personal injury cases. And at that particular point, we will delve into, as a business owner, how to protect yourself against personal injury cases. What do you need to do if you get sued for personal injury cases? And also, he will provide information to consumers on what to do if you do have a personal injury issue that takes place. That's in 2 weeks. We'll get scheduled for that with attorney Mark Connolly from Brian McManus and Associates. Hope to see you there. Thanks again for watching. Have a great weekend.